What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Simba Sports Hub, man, where we talk all things Washington Commanders football. Hey, man, we are 10 days away from the 2026 NFL Draft, and we got some things to just, kind of gear us up and get ready. So let's talk about it. All right, so man, there's been reported, like I say, we 10 days away from, I'm saying, the NFL draft. A lot of speculations. This is kind of, somewhat of a dry spout and, news and, things to report. But again, like I say, man, we are in the home stretch when it comes to, uh, actually finding out who the Washington Commanders is going to take at with that seventh overall pick. There's been speculations about us trading back, as we're going to, discuss a little bit. But first, we're going to start with what the Commanders are reporting as the top 30 visits, and just go over some of the names that is being shown a little bit. Actually, let me expand this a little bit to some of the names that we see, and if you cannot just give a quick glance, there's a lot of Ohio State guys. um, and there's some love being shown from the the sec the big sec conference as well, with some LSU players. There's some there's a nice little Georgia Bulldog on the list. But let's just go over the list real quick. Ethan Clemenius, I don't want to butcher his name, but I already did. But quarterback, pretty much we brought in for a top 30 visit. Running back, Emmett Johnson, came in for a visit as well. Carnell Tate, Makai Lemon, Denzel Boston, Chris Brazzell, Omar Cooper, Mansoor Delane, Dalen Everett, Keontae Scott, and Romilio Height, Sony Styles, and Caden McDonald. And it's a mix, y'all. And if we had to look at this list and kind of, we pretty much going to exclude the quarterback thing. I think that's just formality that we are doing that. But running back, wide receiver, cornerback, edge, D tackle, and linebacker are, if we had to do a top five of the positions and needs, these are the top five positions. Running back, because a lot of people are skeptical about the running back room as we have today, because everybody is so widely in love with Jeremiah Love. And I understand the reasons why, as we all should be. He's one of the top premier talents that's going to be entering the draft this year. So yeah, it's understood why we are holding him as a top guy. If he's there at number 7, it's a no brainer. People are saying go get Jeremiah Love. I understand it. I wouldn't argue it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If that is in case the pick that we decide to go with. So saying Emmett Johnson on there, and I think we did have a top 30 visit with Jeremiah Love, I believe. Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all correct me in the comments if that is the case or not. But as you also can see is, and what I like to see, and maybe one name that is probably, not mentioned, but I think he did have a visit as well, but it's just not showing here. Carnell Tate, Makai Lemon, Denzel Boston, Chris Brazzell, Omar Cooper. And what do all of these receivers have in common outside of, maybe one? And that's everybody outside of Makai Lemon is 6'2" and above. And have big play ability. You know what I'm saying? Go get a type ability to go and get the ball at the highest point. And we got some speed there as well. As well. I said as well. Good Lord. As well. And Chris Brazzell running a 4.3, out of Tennessee. Denzel Boston wasn't too much of a speedster, but big body receiver, 6'4". Carnell Tate, ranging from 6'2" to 6'3". Omar Cooper, I believe, is maybe 6'2". Again, y'all let me know in the comments if that is correct or not. But again, like I said, the receiving room is another major question mark when it comes to fully filling out this roster to go into 2026 ready to battle, right? And a lot of people are saying, hey, if Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, who is not listed on here, that is the pick that we should get. Now, you look at guys like Denzel Boston and Chris Brazzell, Chris Brazzell or Brazil the second. I'm gonna call him Chris. And Omar Cooper. Those are probably your, and some people is even, ranking or potentially seeing Denzel Boston going in the late first, early second round, but these are some of your third round guys that you will see at pick 71. When it comes to like Omar Cooper and Denzel Boston. So that still is, hey, if we get one of these blue chip guys at number 7, if we trade back, you know, there is still enough talent. There's enough wide receiver depth where we can still get a guy that can come in and maybe a little project, may be ready to start. We don't know yet. You get what I'm saying? Nobody thought that Terry McLaurin was going to come in and be an immediate starter. I mean, granted, we didn't have nobody else on the team, but he was a third round pick. And look how he turned out for us. So, I guess that says a lot about the talent we had in the locker room at that given time. And for him to come out and blossom as much as he did, hey, you gotta give kudos to that, right? And then we go into, the defensive side of the football, where if I had to rank, if I had to pretty much rank, what is the top priority need for defense out of, safety, linebacker, edge rusher, or cornerback, I would probably say cornerback is maybe the number one, and maybe you could argue number two over safety because of we brought in Nick Cross from Indianapolis, who played at Maryland, who's from the DMV. We brought him in as a safety, but he seems to be more of an inbox type of close to the line of scrimmage type of safety. Probably could play some over the top coverages, but I'm all for play the guys where they're best suited at. Like, where have they shown the best tape and film, and where they excel at, that's where they need to play. Yes, you need to be versatile, but Nick Cross looks better as inbox type of safety. So is that a Caleb Downs guy? You know what I'm saying? Is Caleb Downs going to be the pick at number 7 if available? But hey, we also looking at, brought in, 3 cornerbacks to, for visits. Mansoor Delane, Everett, and Keontae Scott, who are all 3 of them I like. I like their game. Yes, Mansoor is probably the number 1 ranked corner, out of those 3. Not out of the whole draft, but out of those 3. And some probably view him as the number 1 cornerback in this draft class. And then you got, Georgia Bulldog Everett, who I've seen week in and week out. I've seen where I know he can get better at. I'm not gonna say where he struggles at. Where I know he can get better at, and that's being able to play man-to-man coverage a lot better. He is more of a zone come down and tackle, physical tackler, as a cornerback versus him being a sticky man-to-man coverage guy. And I think he can get better at that. But hey, if you're getting pressure and you can just drop your cornerbacks and tell them to cover deep thirds, or don't let nobody get to the outside or pass you, all right, he is suitable. Wow, he can work on that. But does that mean he's going to be our number 2 corner? But that is also a day two type of pick at number 71. So is Keontae Scott, who is, being discussed as, is he a slot guy? Is he an outside guy? Some even think, could he transition into being a safety? You know what I'm saying? To have a long, I'll compare it to like a Michael Jenkins type of career, where he got drafted as a cornerback, but probably had his most promise as as a safety. You know what I'm saying? Is Keontae Scott an outside corner, or is he a slot guy? Depending on the team and the philosophy and the organization and the style of defense that he plays in, kind of maybe dictates that, right? So those are 3 corners, and then we seen a edge rusher, and a lot of people was probably like, man, why are we looking at edge rushers where we just put money into Charles Odafe and Clavon Chasen. I hope I said his name right. Clavon. Those 3 guys, bringing them in, we're getting a healthy Dorrance Armstrong back, and then bringing back, a Dietrich Wise, and having Javante Baptiste, like that collective unit of pass rushers. Do we really need to consider another edge rusher? Yes. Because even though some of those guys are young, and we gave a hefty contract to Odafe, who's only 27, you still want to get younger as much as possible. And if a Romilio is the BPA at round 3, hey, why not look at, potentially bringing him in and, learning and developing as a pass rusher in other areas that he may need to get better at. In the 3rd round, is he a day 1 guy? I'll be shocked if he goes day 1. And then we got linebacker, which everybody is. There's some predictions out there that this is the guy. And I'm just gonna say this. Simba is just gonna say this, and maybe this is me taking the easy way out, right? And maybe it's me taking the easy way out. I am not giving who I want us to draft next Thursday at number 7. Because I ain't gonna pump fake. My prediction rate is probably worse than some of the top guys, the Kirk Herb streaks or whatever, some of these major, draft board or mock draft guys that we see in the NFL that gives the analysts or analytics about, these prospects coming into the draft. Yeah. The guys that I've been wanting to join this team, I've been proven wrong outside of JD5. That is the one player that I called at number 2 and said, yes, I wanted to take him over Drake May. Yes, I would have taken him over Caleb Williams, even though I know Caleb Williams wasn't going past number 1 to Chicago. But that was the one pick that I got right. That was the one pick I got right. Even going back to the Emmanuel Forbes, I didn't want Emmanuel Forbes. I thought it was going to be, I think, I forgot that year. I think it was Joey Porter. I was calling Joey Porter to be our cornerback, but we went Emmanuel Forbes. I've missed on so many. I thought it was going to be Kyle Hamilton. And guess what the fucking Washington Commanders did? They traded back. And they let Kyle Hamilton go to the Baltimore Ravens. So yeah, I've been wrong. And I will so I'm not gonna, place my name, a name in the hat, or select one name. If you had to ask me, it's gonna be a collective effort. I like Sony Styles. I like Caleb Downs. I will understand the Jeremiah Love pick if they're at number 7. I even understand, us going with a Carnell Tate at number 7 or Jordan Tyson. I understand some of these guys, David Bailey, if he's there, if he mysteriously falls to number 7, or Arvell Reese, if one of these guys falls to number 7. Nothing against Ruben Bain. And I think Ruben Bain is still going to be a phenomenal player in the NFL. I just don't know if he fits that scheme. And same with David Bailey. I don't know if he fits the 3-4 scheme. Some are saying it may be more of a 4-2-5 type of look come week 1. I don't know, but if it is a primary 3-4 personnel, or a 4-2-5, yeah, all right, now I can see why you would have a David Bailey, drafted at number 7. But I wouldn't be mad at one of those guys. So I'm not gonna pick one guy. I know I know y'all probably gonna tell me up in the car. Nah, bro, you gotta pick somebody. Nah, you can't be like that. Hey, Simba is choosing to be neutral. Cause if it ain't the pick that I truly want, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be mad. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be a little mad, but it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like I will understand it. Even though I probably wouldn't put Jeremiah Love as my number 1 pick at number 7, and he's maybe like 4-5 ish on my top guys that could be there at 4, or who I would like to have at 4. I wouldn't be mad at the pick. I would be a little shell shocked because it's like, all right, you built out this running back room. What the potential of understanding that Jeremiah Love may not be there, but if he is there, what does that say about the Jerome Fords and the Jeremy McNichols if you take Jeremiah Love? Because he's going to be your day 1 starter. Jeremiah Love is drafted. I don't see him being worked into the number 1 spot. No, Jakrowski, Rashad White. Yeah, y'all are 2 and 3, and y'all battle it out between 2 and 3. Jeremiah Love got to be your number 1 guy. And I think that is what any player that we take. If it's a Mansoor Delane at 7, this is a Carnell Tate at 7. If it's a Sony Styles at 7, a Caleb Downs at 7, Arvell Reese at 7, yes, I expect him to be starting. So whoever it is at 7, I expect one of those guys to be starting at week 1. I don't know if we got enough proven depth to understand or be willing to say, yeah, nah, we ain't gonna start him right now. He's not, catching up. And then I'm questioning, like, why the fuck did we take him at 7 if they're not ready to come in day 1 and be ready to play week 1 of the 2026 NFL season? That's just my question, right? So with that being said, let's get into some of the, other news. Is that it's been reported that the Commanders are among 4 teams, Arizona, Tennessee, New York, Cleveland, damn near the top 5 guys, the top 8, that are looking to trade back. Washington only has 2 picks in the top 100. And that's been one of the, major debates going back and forth. Fans and content creators, I would say, and even analysts, It's like if you're at 7, if you're at pick number 7, and you got one of those top 5 guys that you really really like, Arvell Reese, David Bailey, Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate, Sony Styles. um do you, or Jeremiah Love, do you still consider trading back at trading back from 7? Because that will, if 3 of those 5 are still there, how far do you trade back? I already announced and said that I am not willing to go past 11. Pick 11. I really don't even want to go past pick 8, because that means that we could potentially lose 3 of those guys that we may truly want. And now we got to fall into, all right, Mansoor Delane, a Carnell Tate, maybe a Caleb Downs, who we all know is being viewed as one of the next top tier safeties to ever to come out in the NFL, right? Yes, he still got to prove himself, but he is being viewed as one of the top guys that's going to be out there. But we have not seen a top 10 safety go in some time now. I can't trace it back how far, but that's just what's been. Y'all can correct me in the comments or not if that is true or not true. So if I had to give a percentage of us trading back, it gotta be a legitimate 4 or 5 guys that we really want that's still there, and that will open the window to increase the percentage. Just being honest, that is what that will have to open. As far as like, all right, yeah, I can see us trading back, because yes, do you want to get more draft capital to try to fill out the rest of your roster with some young talent? Yes. Do I want to obtain a 2nd round pick? If possible, yes. Do I want a 3rd round pick? Do I want a 2027 3rd, or depending on who's trying to jump up and how far we trying to trade back? Again, I'm not trying to go past 11. So that's just my thought process. I would probably say right now, as it stands right now, if I had to say if we're going to trade back or not, I would have to say it's under 50%, anywhere 25% chance that we trade back. I don't know who the pick is going to be. A lot of people can speculate and say, "Oh yeah, it's going to be this person." It's all speculation at the end of the day. So yes, I can't really see it. So let's see what some of the reports are talking about. And this is Daniel Jeremiah talking.
Yeah, this is. All right, Daniel Jeremiah. Now in your mock draft at 7, Jeremiah Love is sitting out there. The Washington Commanders are sitting there.
Got the audio playing through my.
Dreaming of seeing that Notre Dame
my headset. I ain't got my headset on. So let's see.
In every single offensive set, but
let's see.
All right, Daniel Jeremiah. Now in your mock draft at 7, Jeremiah Love is sitting out there. The Washington Commanders are sitting there at 7. Commanders fans are dreaming of seeing that Notre Dame Dynamo standing next to Jaden Daniels in every single offensive set. But you have the first surprising trade of the draft happening right here in the mock draft. The floor is yours.
Yeah, this is about an opportunity here for the New York Jets to move up, to be aggressive in this draft. They are loaded with picks in this year and next year. And when you look at the cost for them to go from 16 to 7, you're talking about their second round pick, a 4th round pick, and their 16th overall pick. So it's not that big of an ask. And a Washington team that needs some more picks. They're a little light. They don't have a 2nd round pick. So they slide back. The Jets come back up. They've already got David Bailey, and now they add Carnell Tate to team up with a fellow Ohio State Buckeye and Garrett Wilson. They have the ability, they have the capacity to be aggressive in this draft and come away with 2 of the top players. And they're another team that's looking specifically at that wide receiver spot.
Oh, well, that would be.
And Daniel Jeremiah, shout out to you. I just don't like that. I don't like us trading back to 16 and getting 44 and 26. I feel like if you're trading out of the top 10 and going past the top 15, nah, we need more than that. Like, I need some 2027 picks to, like I need, and I know that, the league don't really value unless you're trading up for a quarterback. That's when you'll see an onslaught of picks being given up. But getting number 16 and number 44 in the 2nd round, nah, like I need 16, 44, and I need like your 22. I'll take the 4th round pick, because now that gives us pretty much a pick in each round. But still, at the same time, it's still not enough. To me, that I wouldn't take that trade if the Jets called up for it. That's just me speaking. Now, if the Miami Dolphins want to call up for number 11 and say, they 2nd round, or a 3rd round pick and a 2027 3rd round pick, I might entertain it. But that's just something else that was being thrown out there as a mock draft and a potential trade up happening. But as y'all can see, and I know it's probably blurred out a little bit, you see David Bailey going second to the Jets. Francis out of Miami going to third. Arvell Reese going 4. Sony Styles and Spencer Fano, and then so Sony Styles going to the New York Giants. I just don't really see the New York Giants going linebacker after giving Tremaine Edmonds that much money. Yes, could they still pair those two together? For sure. But I just don't see that draft happen. All right, and now we're gonna finish up with other news. If you don't know, shout out to Rio Robinson, man, who's been killing it in the content space, man. Shout out to you, Rio. And if you are season ticket holders like myself, I got an email today, early access to the new jerseys, because if y'all don't know, Wednesday, I'm sure everybody knows, April the 15th at 10 a.m., the Washington Commanders will be releasing the new uniforms for the Washington Commanders going into 2026. And with that, the new jerseys will be open and available to early access to the new jerseys, and that means your boy Simba gets to line up in line, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hectic line, and I'm trying to figure out how am I going to not finesse it, but make it happen to where I can see the new reveal and do a live reaction to it. Or your boy Simba may, see the new jerseys, and I may already be, find out what they were. I would have loved to have looked at them first time with you all, but I want to go get my jersey. I want to have access to me picking out my jersey. I'm actually gonna get 2 jerseys. Don't tell my wife. But I'm gonna pick up 2 jerseys. So I will be there at 11 o'clock, but the release is at 10 o'clock. So am I gonna be in line, or do I go live and I take y'all with me, and do a live as I go and wait in line and just, parlay with some of have a good time, with some of the, Commanders fans, season ticket holders, as we get the first dibs on getting the new jerseys that's coming out. Now, I was just talking to my man. I'm like, damn, I got a JD5, I got Sean Taylor. I am a firm believer in not buying other players' jerseys, and I know it sounds contradictory because I got JD5, but that was my pick, and that's outside of that. Getting like a Mike Sanders still, a Jordan McGee, a Trey Amos. Like, I can only get a guy that has gotten a second contract with the Washington Commanders, and that is what led me to say that my next jersey, and then the new jersey that's about to come out on Wednesday, I'll be getting a Terry McLaurin jersey, man. I'm going to get me a number 17 jersey. He's gotten his second contract with us. He has been a phenomenal player for us. And however he ends his career, whether it is with the Washington Commanders or elsewhere, I can still hold on to that jersey and be like, hey man, I got me a good ass jersey. I can literally point to Terry McLaurin and say, hey man, he had a good ass career with us. That's a good jersey to get. But burgundy, gold, I might be leaning more to a burgundy because I got too many white jerseys as it already is. And like I said, I got the all white JD5, Blicky, JD5 jump. I got the Sean Taylor, 70, the Super Bowl anniversary jump that came out for last season. And then I got the all black Sean Taylor jump. And so I might just go ahead and get me a burgundy jersey. So y'all let me know in the comments what you guys think, man. This is the news. Your boy will be doing a live reaction to the new jerseys. So what I might do is that I might go and scoop my jersey and then come back home, and we're going to reveal the jerseys. We're going to reveal the jerseys. We're going to reveal the jerseys live in action, and then also do a reaction to what, whatever they drop. I don't know if it's going to be a video. I don't know if it's going to be a live, like how the Tennessee Titans was with Cam Ward and, Simmons coming in and showing the jerseys. I don't know how they're going to roll out these new jerseys, but we know it's going to be burgundy gold. There is speculation there's going to be an arrow. There's not. They're going to remove the W. Some saying that the W is going to remain. I'm just going to stay neutral and wait and see. Y'all let me know in the comments, man, what y'all guys think. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Y'all already know, man, 10 days until draft time. Your boy Simba. Y'all stay tuned. I got some shit getting ready to roll out. Some intros, some thumbnails that I'm going to be showing y'all as we gear up for the live draft party. Make sure y'all tune in to Simba Sports Hub on this YouTube channel here. And I'll catch y'all later, man. Raise hell, I'm up out of here.